Good morning, good morning. It is Motivation Station today with I think just me because it was a weird day to have to stream unfortunately because yesterday I had gone out and I wasn't free and I'll tell you about that day. And I had told Rose and Rose was okay with it, but I think Rose got preoccupied. She is traveling tomorrow. I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow, but she is coming to New York. So she might be on a different agenda right now, and there's no big deal. Like you got to do what you got to do, right? Um, but welcome. We're doing well here. We're on episode 41. I hope everyone is doing well on this fabulous Sunday. It's very nice weather. Um, I think I'm gonna keep the stream short and simple today. Just gonna talk about a few things about me, and then a few things about what's to come with Motivation Station. And we'll go from there. So first off, I hope everyone is well. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. A lot of changes happening in my life, so I'd love to talk about it. I'm keeping an eye out to see if Rose joins, and if she does, we will add her in here accordingly. I just want to make sure I have the right link. And then I have that. All right, we're good. All right. So anyway, hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, so first off, I'll start with how I've been. I think everyone has come to notice that like the last few podcasts, especially like from June moving forward, I've just kind of not been all there. Like I definitely had some stressful time periods. I had some fallouts. I had some breakups, so to speak. Had tough times going forward. I lost some friends. I lost some time for myself. But then like going to June, going to July, like it started hitting a lot better. Like things are getting a lot better. I feel good. I feel motivated. I was able to, have closure where I needed closure. I was able to make repairs where I had to make repairs, both with myself and externally. And so everything on that end is getting a little bit better. And then going into July into August, like it was great, like it was refreshing, it was like taking new breaths at that point. And now we're entering August, which is actually insane. It's already August of 2025. This year's flying by, and like I think this is the first few years in my life that I actually remember from like the beginning of this year till like the end of it. And um it's it's interesting, um yeah, I'm trying to just think about how much I've been through at this point. But anyway, where I'm at now, I'm doing a lot better. This month we were talking about we wanted to change ourselves so that we're more healthy, right? And not just in the mental state. I mean, actually, like physically, what I put in my system, like what I eat and stuff. So I'm on a journey right now that I am trying to get through. I'm diabetic. I've been diabetic for a good number of years now. I was taking some medicine. I don't take medicine anymore, which I know is dangerous, but I've been trying to eat cleaner and I haven't been for a while. And I'm trying to jump back on that path before I go to my doctor, go check my A1C and all that stuff. And I know I should do it sooner than later, but I'm really trying to be good on my diet, really try to be conscious about what I put in my system. So I'm changing a lot of things up and I'm trying to go back to gym. And these are where some of my changes in my life are happening. So let me start with this much. I got a new job, right, which I'm ecstatic for. Um, I've done help desk level one like forever. And I liked it. And then I had a job where I was a little bit level two, a little bit more hands on, a little bit more in depth, right? So if there's any deeper issues, um, I would have to like take some time to work on the issue or reach out to vendors to work on the issue, or it's something that's a little bit beyond just standard have you turned it off and on, and troubleshooting things in that sense. So I actually start with that company this week. I gave my 2 weeks graciously at the job I'm at now. There's literally no problem with the job. I actually love the job. I love the team I was with. They're very homely. In fact, before we left, before I was leaving, right, the last few Fridays, we all had lunch together. We're all just chatting. They're all just wishing me well. And on top of that, my manager, I spoke with him, and I was like, look, like I have a really good friend that I know that is looking for work, and she's qualified for this position. She just also got put into like a stressful boat like I was in when I was in my last job last year. And right now she's not working. So I was like, listen, give her an interview. I'm like, you don't have to give her the job, but just give her a shot at it. And I think things are going well with that. And I hope she gets the job, which is fantastic. Which is not one of the good news I had last week. There's a few things from last week that I'm going to carry over. But so I'm wishing the best for her, that she aims high, right, for the offer, and that she gets the position. Um, and I'm leaving on good terms. That he was even like, look, if things don't work out, if things go sour, which I'm praying that it doesn't, but I have good faith in my heart that it won't. He's like, just let me know. I'll bring you right back. I'll take care of you. And I was like, I appreciate that. And if the offer does come, uh, with a stipulation where, like, if they bring me back, they can't bring on my friend, I would rather let them bring on my friend, because she needs this position more than I do. I'll figure something out. I'll land on my feet somewhere. I have another friend who's close to getting a new job as well. Now they're in a very tough situation. They don't really travel, and they're kind of stuck where they are. So I'm telling them to break free, and you gotta kind of risk it to take a leap of faith for this new offering, right? So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that they have the opportunity to take some time to try this offer. And I told him, I was like, look, just tell me the day, just tell me the time. I'll bring you over, right? I'll bring over my lunch break during the day or something. And I'm sure like they won't uh, you know give me grief for not being around for a few hours just to like take a break or take a lunch or something. I was like, if you can go on a weekend, I'll take some time on the weekend. I'll pause the podcast. I'll try to do the podcast a different day, or honestly, even if we don't do a podcast for the day, I think it's all right, because sometimes we have to do things in life that are more important, things that, like, for me at least, like, I'm not saying the podcast not important, but like if I have the opportunity to help someone, and it's like, look, I can help someone or do my podcast, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna help my friend, right? And like, especially in a situation like this where they can be better for themselves, right? If they can get this job, and if they start working here, then they can get an apartment, they can live on their own, they can get their own groceries, they can have their own place, they can have a peace of mind. And that's what I strive for people, so if it means that I have to do the podcast a different day or skip the podcast, like, I will make that sacrifice for them. So I hope things work out. I actually have to hit them up when I get a chance to see how they're doing. But I have another friend who got the job that she wanted, and she's moving to like a different state. So they lived like in Vermont, and now they're moving to Connecticut. And we actually met up for lunch. I think I talked about this before. And we met up for lunch like between us, which was Albany, which is still 3 hours away for me. And it was a fantastic drive. I took my Subaru out for a ride, and it was just like fun to just like ride through like an open road, kind of, twisty road. I didn't go crazy. But it was nice to just like be out there. It was refreshing, and I think my body and my soul actually really needed that. And I'm proud of them, because like I said, they got a new job. Like, they actually got offered the job, so they're taking it, and they're about to move to Connecticut sometime this month. And I told them, if they need help, let me know. But so many positive changes are happening around me, and I think that's what's making me happy. Like, I think sometimes for me it's different, and it's weird, because it's like, if positive things are happening to me, they don't fully register until like something positive happens to somebody else. So I feel like the fact that I have positive vibes coming my way, positive opportunities, like a new job, and just like everything I'm starting to do, right, for my friends and my family, like, it's just that guiding light. It's that positivity that I want to spread, and I want to stick with. And I think because, like, I know like a lot of friends make fun of me for this. Actually, one of my best friends that makes fun of me for this, and she goes, you know, I tell her I like to give myself to others. I love to serve people, and she's like, that's stupid. Like you're just gonna burn yourself out always helping people. And I'm like, honestly, I don't burn myself out helping people. I burn myself out helping the wrong people. So now it's like when it comes down to it, if I'm giving energy or if I'm trying to do something for someone who's not really grateful for what I do, or you know, yeah, it's really just that, like people who are they come around, they use me when they need me, things like that. I don't spend too much time with those people anymore. Of course I'll be there, but I don't go out of my way to burn myself out. It's like the saying, don't burn yourself to keep others warm. Especially if they're not grateful. I don't mind keeping my others warm, just not for people who are not grateful for it. So I think when I started doing that and taking care about myself, it was good. And definitely within the last few months, it's always been like tougher. Just because I think I was just like really down and out. But now that I'm feeling better mentally, I think I'm finally back up, finally positive, finally like thinking of the good things. So now I'm at a point where I gotta work on my health because I'm starting to have some health scares. I'm not gonna get too knee deep into it, but I have to eat like a little bit more better. So I kind of did start this week. Um, I've been actually doing intermittent fasting, which I know is probably not the greatest thing to do, but I'm gonna just be on it for like a month before I just kind of change up my diet. But I've been eating a lot more greens. I've been eating a lot more vegetables. Lighter on fruits, but if I need fiber, I'll do some fruits as well. I make smoothies, so one of the things I've been drinking a lot more. So first of all, cheers to you guys, right? I'm getting weak. I have a nice little Minnie Mouse. I don't know my hand to move. Hold on. I have a nice little Minnie Mouse mug. I forgot. I think my friend's mom gave this to me. Anyway, I've been doing smoothies now. I know that sounds unhealthy, but I've actually changed over to like a low carb, higher protein protein powder that I have, and I'll mix it with slices of frozen banana, which are good for me at least, and it has that consistency for a smoothie, right? Um, I started using Rise mushroom coffee. It makes a difference, like for me at least. I mean, not that I don't like Starbucks or Dunkin' or anything like that, but I will. Oh, hey Morgan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Minnie Mouse. I have a Mickey Mouse one and a Goofy one too. I'm pretty sure it was my friend's mom that gave it to me. But yeah, yeah. So I use mushroom coffee. I use blueberries. I use a tablespoon of peanut butter, almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, and then I use something called moringa powder. So this is some herbal stuff, kind of brought down from like an Indian ideal. Like somebody had mentioned that like it's essentially leaf powder, and people were mentioning that like if you mix it in, and you don't need to mix it in a lot. If you mix it in with whatever you drink or eat and you sprinkle it on, it helps like keep the blood sugar like stable, or even help bring it down a little bit after after you eat and after some time. And it has been working. And there were times where I was being desperate about it, and I was actually mixing it with water, right? So I'm it's like show and tell today, Ugh. Oh my lord, I need to hit the gym. So I have this thing, right? And it has like the whole little time slot thing, right? And I'll fill it at least halfway with water every day, and I'll mix like half a tablespoon and put the moringa powder into there. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, it tastes like grass. Don't ask why I know what grass tastes like, but if once you like stir it in, and like for me, I kind of adapted to the taste. But after drinking it like 2 or 3 days, my sugar was dropping. Like my sugar's bad. I'm not gonna tell you what my numbers are, but my sugars are bad. But they've been drastic. They've been dropping. It's been dropping drastically when I do it like that. It's a lot tougher to do. I don't recommend it to anybody. But sometimes I'll eat certain foods like a salad, or I buy like the keto tortilla wraps, which obviously stuff like that is kind of questionable. But I know when I eat it, it doesn't affect my sugar. So what I would do is I would get that, and I would get plant-based meat. So I would get like plant-based like beef or yeah, like beef, I guess, right? Or chicken. And I would make quesadillas, right? I would get like I would actually get low-fat cheese and put the chicken, put that, and then I would like air fry it or like just fry it in a pan. And like I would just eat that and it would actually fill me up, and like my sugar doesn't take that much of a hit, which is great. Um and even in that, like I would sprinkle in like a little bit of moringa sauce, and when that one I sprinkle very little of, so then like it doesn't really taste like anything is there, which is good. But like in my smoothie I put a little bit more, and it does change the taste of it a little bit. But since I put like blueberries, which I need to eat a lot more, blueberries are a very good snack to have. Not too much, but like a couple blueberries as a snack a day, I think it helps. It helps a lot. Um, and I'll put blueberries in here. I'll put banana is a little bit tricky, right? Because bananas are sugary, and a lot of people like. I'll be honest, my sugar was so bad to a point that I couldn't even eat bananas. Like I eat half a banana. I would take like like eat halfway a banana, and my stomach would instantly like break it down. I had to run to the bathroom because I couldn't handle it. Now my stomach is getting a little bit better, so I can handle the banana. So I'm trying to like ease into taking some fruits, but not a lot. But banana more for flavor and texture. So my mom likes to buy a lot of bananas, so she freezes them for me now, and I'll take like a few of it. Sometimes I'll also have like frozen dragon fruit and frozen blueberries or something like that, and throw it in there. But like I'll have smoothies kind of more often than not. And sometimes, especially if it's just fruits, I'll have it with just water. So then that way it's not as bad for me. But I did change over from milk. Um, Not that milk affects my stomach or like hurts bad, but like I'm trying to lower my fat intake as well. So I kind of switch over to almond milk. Um, I like I had mentioned I do intermittent fasting. I do the 16 and then 8. So I won't eat for 16 hours. And then within the 8 hours that I can eat, I just eat healthy, eat in portions, and don't overeat. They say never eat till you're like 120% full, 100% full. You should eat till you're about like 75, 80%. And then just be content with that. So anyway, this my goal, right, is it is the month of August. In October, I am going to go to Myrtle Beach. Um, October is only 2 months away, but like you need a good 3 months of solid eating. But by October, I want to have like a nice steady level uh, back to my sugar. So then, like come the end of the year, I can actually um, go see like an endo or go get blood work done, get my A1C, and hope that's a lot lower. I know it's high, but I don't want to rely on metformin because I've done it before and it really messed me up. Right, I was on it for a little bit of time and it really scared me. And I know people that are on insulin, and not that I don't want to be on insulin, but I know I can do my best to healthily get better. But like you have to work really hard towards it. And I know there's times where I half-assed it, or I would do it for some time and I would quit. But I think my greatest motivation right now is my daughter's getting older. She talks to me so much. I want to be here. I want to be here for her. I want to be here for my friends. I want to be here for a lot of people. And if I don't treat myself right, I won't be. It's just it's a matter of that. I just I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. So I've been drinking a lot more water. Um, I've been trying to come up with vegetarian recipes. To kind of what's the word? Meal prep. Yeah, meal prep. So then like I have no problem eating the same food like all the time as long as it fills me up. So that's why I started doing like the keto wraps and stuff like that, because I want to put a lot in it. I would put sometimes I would do like I said, like plant-based beef, and then sprinkle some cheese, some hot sauce, and it tastes delicious, right? Or I'll do I have marinara sauce, and then I'll put like low-fat cheese, and then I'll have like a quesadilla pizza kind of thing. And every time I'd eat it, within 2 hours I check my sugar, and it's like it goes lower. Like it's either that or lower. And I always try to keep an eye on it because like I don't want to eat too much stuff that really heightens my sugar and has a tough time processing and has a hard time bringing it back down. So then like I do my best to just cut that food out for now. Like I the worst part is I crave chocolate, I crave candy and stuff like that. I'll say I mostly cut that out. There's times where I'm guilty and I'll have like one Reese's cup or something, and as much as I'm like, it's just one. Nah, I gotta be more diligent about that. So I've been trying to cut that out. I will get dark chocolate and I'll have like one little block once in a while just to kind of curb the sugar cravings, right? But other than that, like I don't drink soda anymore. Like even the zero sugar soda stuff. Um, I know I can drink it and it won't affect my sugar, but I don't drink it as often anymore just because like I mean I'm sure there's bad effects to that, but like the stuff I've been reading and seeing was like mainly that it's more addictive than normal sugar, so like if you drink a lot of zero sugar stuff, if you eat a lot of zero sugar items, stuff like that, your body craves it more than it would have if it had normal standard sugar in it. So I like if I ever have any sort of sugar craving, I mean I fight it for now, but I try to eat like a plum or like a peach or something like that, whatever's in season. I love pomegranate, right? So I've been trying to find places where I can buy vegetables and fruits a little bit cheaper. So normally I go grocery shopping at ShopRite and get most of my items there. Sometimes I'll go to a place called Little or Aldi, right? And they have fresh fruits and things like that there. But my mom was telling me I should try to just go to like a farmer's market as well. So my goal is to from this podcast and now till October to be eating 100% healthier. Um, I'm gonna do my best to keep a journal of what I eat and just be on that path. So I'm not going to try to divert from that path because I want to do it for motivation station. Of course, I want to do it for myself. I want to do it for my family, and yeah, I just kind of want to get through it. So I'm hoping for the podcast for this month, which I have to sit down with Rose and talk to Rose about it. We're gonna be talking about keeping healthy and what we can do to pursue that. We had a fantastic guest, Beverly, a while back, who like I told her I'd come see her, and I didn't, unfortunately. But I know she's still in Jersey, so I'm gonna hit her back up and ask her if she could be part of the podcast. I'm gonna ask her if there's some recipes she can bring, and I would love for you guys to like be part of it. We'll check up on how she's doing, see what recommendations she has, and ask her to talk about it on the podcast. I think there's a few other people who are on a health journey as well. We can check in with them. I do have one of my good friends from high school that I saw not too long ago, and he had asked me if he can be on podcast. He was actually one of my first few friends who asked me like, "Hey, can I be on your podcast?" And I was like, "Oh heck yeah, man! Like definitely." So I'm trying to put him in for the end of August. I think I have him on my schedule, but I haven't. I gotta double check it. Besides that, let's see. I'm sorry. So going forward, I gotta tell Rose too. We're gonna start with how we're doing. We're gonna start the podcast, how we're doing, and we're gonna mention one thing that we did that made us happy. Which we talked about this several times, but we've been messing up like now on when to mention it, and it really should have been at the beginning, but I got caught up with all how I talk all the time. Anyway, the one thing I mean, I obviously like Rose, like because we talked about it last week, right? That we can't. It's hard to label just one thing that makes us happy. I'm sure there was a lot of things that we all did, right? But the one thing that I sat there, I was like, "This is it. This is my happy moment this week for that I want to talk about," and it was mainly it was yesterday. So the reason I couldn't do my podcast yesterday was because we had planned a beach day a while ago. And we were going back and forth on whether it was going to be Saturday and Sunday. And we're supposed to go a Sunday previous, but it didn't work out. So the next day that worked out was yesterday, Saturday. And the biggest reason we wanted to go was for my mom. She loves the beach. She loves the beach water. She loves water in general. She likes swimming in it and stuff like that. And we didn't go this year. And when I actually thought about it, I haven't gone to the beach with like the whole family in like 7 years, like pre-COVID, and it wasn't that like so. I'm not a huge beach person, and it's because like I don't like going to the beaches in Jersey. that's just me. Like I know the beach in Jerseys are great and they're wonderful, but for me it's like I don't like going to crowded places, and it's generally most of the time always crowded, and the waves are sometimes too rough for me, so I can't even like enjoy myself. And the only other beaches I really go to are in Myrtle Beach, which this year when I go, I'm gonna be doing my podcast from there, right? On one of the Saturdays, I think on Saturday. I leave Friday night, so I'll be there Saturday morning. I'm gonna show you a video of what the beach looks like, and it's just like it's gonna be great, right? So I go there, and even then, like I don't always go onto the beach. I just kind of wet my feet, but like there's a pool instead, and the pool's like nice and warm, so it's like a nice chill day. But I like going there. The water's a little bit, it's a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit, less rough. There's a lot less people there because it's kind of like a private beach area. But I'll be honest, we went to Long Branch yesterday. We went to some place called President's Beach, and we had to pay to get in. There was a good amount of people there, but not so bad that we couldn't find a place to sit because we sat down almost immediately, and then B, uh, oh, I should have shared that. Maybe I'll share it later. And B, it was quiet. Like the waves were rough. My daughter had a blast. I think this was the first time I took my daughter to the beach with my mom, um and my cousins were there too, and my daughter had a blast. She got wiped out like 72 times, but like she had a blast. She had a lot of fun. My niece was there, so they were building sun castles. It was fun. It was a good time, and all I did was I sat there, I put on some headphones, and I tried to stay in the shade. I think it's sunburnt, fortunately, and I just kind of like listen to music and I just kick back, and the times I put my headphones aside to lay there, all I can hear some people talk. Like it wasn't loud. Nothing was loud at the beach. It wasn't loud. I could hear a few people talking, and I can just hear the waves crashing. And I was like, this is fantastic. This is really relaxing. But like what made me happy more than not is like my mom, like it was rough getting there, but like my mom had a good time. Like she, out of all of us that were there and the waves were rough, she went in and like she was like getting knocked down and stuff like that, but she was laughing, she was having fun. We bought food for all of ourselves. I ate healthy yesterday too. I had my pizza quesadilla, but I did have like a handful of potato chips, so I'm sorry. But like overall it was just a good time, and like for me, the reason why it was such a good time is because like I don't know if it's like the age I'm hitting. I don't know if it's like maybe the timeline I'm hitting, or maybe it's like the fact that I'm a parent now, right? Is that like even Rose was the same with her mother, and it's just like I want to do stuff with my family because all my life my family did stuff for me, and having Lily changed a lot of perspective for me. Having Lily changed like how I view a lot. Like when I see my parents with Lily, like it reminds me how they were with me because when I was at that young age, they were like that with me. Not as when she gets a little bit older and starts going to school, they'll probably be a little bit rougher on her. But like it just like I felt like my mom is living the life that she wanted to live, but with like if she had a girl, and that like at least she has the opportunity now, right? My daughter's three and a half now, something like that. No, she's still three and like change. But like from the day she was born till now, like my mother has been able to spend every single day with her, like except for maybe like days that we went on vacation and stuff like that. But like my mom was able to spend a good amount of time with her, and like she's still healthy, she's still young. Same thing with my mom, my dad, right? Like they're both in their 60s and 70s, but they still make the most of it, and they spend as much time as they can with her, and I love it, right? So when I was growing up, they did a lot for me. They sacrificed, I'm gonna say, I think they sacrificed a lot of happiness that they could have had. Not that they weren't happy with me around in my presence, right? But like they definitely, like I've seen like Instagram reels and stuff like it's like think about how your parents would have been if you weren't here, right? And I'm not gonna say they would have been happier or less happier, but the life would have been different. but I think they're still very happy with the choices they made, and it shows now, definitely. They make sure I eat, they make sure go to sleep on time, they make sure that I'm doing well, they check up on me. And my mom was asking me a lot of questions like, how's everything doing, like, how's your diabetes, you should really take care of yourself, because like it's getting scary and stuff like that. So I told her, I was like, for her, like, of course I'll be a little bit more worried about it. But one of the things I started doing also was I started taking my mom on vacation. So last year I took my mom to Cape May. I go to Cape May every December. And last year I asked my mom, I was like, do you want to come? And I'll never forget her expression, because she was just like, are you asking me to come on vacation with you? And I was like, yeah, why not? Like, like you took me out your entire life. Let me, or you took me out my entire life. Let me take you out, for, oh, that sounds kind of rough, right? Your entire life. But no, I was like, the remainder of life. But I was like, let's go out. Let's have some fun. And she did, like it was rough for her because she didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to relax. And I'll be honest, I think as much as she liked going in the winter, I think she would appreciate going when the weather's still good, when she can go to the beach. So I do think that one of the weekends in September, I'm going to try to go back down. Because in September, the weather's still decent. And there's a beach down there, which is gorgeous, called The Point. And I'm going to see if I can maybe get an Airbnb for like a weekend. We'll go down on like Thursday night or Friday night, stay till Sunday night. So then at least we have Saturday that we can go to that beach and chill and go dinner and then just come back Sunday. So I'm thinking about it, but I'll see. But that was my happy moment. That's my long ass happy story. So I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I guess lastly, what I'm going to talk about. Oh, sorry. And then one of the things that that made me happy that I had my daughter, right? Because I thought about it, because it did scare me, but I couldn't put it into words why I felt so much better after having it, right? But I watched a movie yesterday, right? There's an Indian actor, Amir Khan. I love the guy. Like I grew up with watching him. He's been one of my biggest idols in not Hollywood. And one of the movies he made was called Sitar Zameen Par, right? Don't ask what that means. I think it's something about a wish, but I'm very bad at like the Hindi language. I know. I'm Indian. I should know better. But anyway, it was about a movie where he's a basketball coach for the mentally challenged, and he like it was like kind of a punishment for him for like a crime he committed. And throughout it, like he has a hard time understanding these kids. He's like they're not normal. And they tell this beautiful story of how each kid is like individually unique and they're normal in their own sense. I cried, of course, right? And it brought tears to my eyes and stuff. And there was a line that one of the kids said, right? Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to do my best not to cry, because I cried. One of the lines he said was like, he's like, look, I'm not dumb. Like I I know parents don't want to have kids like us. And okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna drink some water. Hold on. So the kid said, I know parents don't want to have kids like us. But the way that like the coach started treating them and like trying to take care of them and like did things to like over help them overcome their challenged moments, it was beautiful, right? So one of the examples was like I'm just one of the brief examples. So I'm gonna finish what that kid said afterward. But one of the examples the kid gave was he's scared of water because he almost drowned one time, right? But he has a fondness of animals. He's very good with animals. Like a lot of animals naturally go to him. He's able to like cuddle with them. He's able to comfort them, and like it's more unique than not. Like a lot of people are just like he knows he's really good with animals. So there was a moment where like they were telling him to take a bath. Like they won a basketball game or whatever, and the guy was like, take a bath. He's like, I don't want to take a bath, because he was too scared. But in the bath, a little mouse fell into the bathtub, right? And the guy was like, I'm scared of water, but you need to save that mouse. You need to save that mouse, right? And the mouse was like, trying to swim and trying to make it through. And I'm pretty sure it's a CGI mouse, so I'm pretty sure no mice were harmed in this movie. But it was like just the principle of it, right? So like the guy was like, no, I have to protect the animal. So like his courage to save the animal overcame his fear of going into the water, and he was able to save the animal the mouse, and he started to let go of his fear. So like, after all, he was happy, and like, he starts taking like a bath, and then he gave the coach a hug, and the coach is like, he realized he made this guy overcome his fear. Now, throughout the movie, it's sprinkled that he does a little bit more for the others, and he gets there basically. All right, so then he gets to that scene with that kid where the kid was like, I know parents don't want to have kids like me. I'm trying. Why is this so tough? But then he says, damn, dude, it's such a good movie. He says, but we all deserve a father like you. So throughout the entire movie, you kind of learn that he never wanted to be a dad. Because he was too afraid that something like this can happen to his own offspring. He's like not that like I deep inside he didn't believe that he wouldn't love them any different, but he was scared of what life would have, right? Which is relatable for me, because I have a physical disability. It's tough for me to do stuff, but that was my fear, and I was afraid to have a child because of that. Now, fortunately, throughout life, I was able to meet people who encouraged me to take that leap of faith. I met a partner who I had completely like surrendered to have an understanding person that's just like if I were to do this, like you are the person I would do this with, right? And oh man, thank God that everything was beautiful with Lily. Everything is perfect with Lily. Thinking about it, back at it, if even had anything had happened, like I know I wouldn't love her any different, because it's like my parents didn't love me any different, Man, this is supposed to be a positive freaking podcast. I'm over here crying. Let me go ahead and drink some smoothie. But anyway, so great movie. But like when I saw that quote, when I saw that kid say that, like I kind of understood where he came from. And then technically, since the coach, he was like a coach of 8 kids, so like the main guy, like not the main guy, sorry, like the main admin that like overwatches everything. He was like, essentially you're gonna treat them as if they're your kids. And at first he was just frustrated all the time, but then he got to know them and learn them better. I highly recommend it. It's on YouTube. Like it's very hard to find. The main actor was like part of being the director, and he put it on YouTube. It's called Sitar. I'll message it to you. Sorry, I'm dying. Hold on. Let me I'll type it into the chat here real quick. Hang on one second. Okay, I opened my chat. Sorry, had to go through all that. So that's the name of the movie. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Morgan, let me know if you want to watch it. If you don't find it on YouTube, if you want to watch it together, let me know. Maybe we can set up like a Discord call and we can watch it together if you'd like. And I appreciate you stopping by, so thank you, and commenting as well. But it is a he has another movie like that he's done called Tares Me Porn, which that one I know what it means because there was an English title for it. But it's like Wish Upon a Star, something like that. Yeah. That one is same type of thing. Like he was he was a actor in there, but in there he was a little bit more compassionate, like right off the bat. Like he wasn't a rough person that became better. He was like a teacher that had um, come to a school, and he met this child who wasn't normal, and everyone gave the child a hard time, including that one made me cry the most. That one was more relatable to my situation, but that one was like it was a kid that had, I think he had like autism, and like he was only really good at artwork, and he loved doing art, but like his parents, people around him were just like, you're dumb, you can't do anything, like what is being an artist gonna help you do? And like he didn't know how to have express his emotions well. So like he would just lash out, he would just like be angry, kick, scream, cry. He didn't know how to like um properly give out his, his feelings and stuff like that. So when I watched that one made me cry. We could watch that one together too. But if you look up this actor, he does great movies. He does some comedies as well. He does a lot. Um, but like back to what we were talking about here, like it just that movie was it was a tearjerker, and it just made me feel better about the decision I made with Lily. It made me just realize that like I'm happy that I didn't not decide to go that path. You know. Whew, all right, man. I thought this was just gonna be like a healthy, like just like a chill ass chat about eating healthy and being happy, and now I'm over here. Oh, it's happy tears, It's happy tears. Um, but anyway, guys, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. The last thing I want to talk about was some things we want to do with Motivation Station. Rose and I are gonna start meeting up a little bit more monthly. We're gonna talk about what we want to talk about per month, so that things, we people have an idea of what we're gonna be going into. Because right now we kind of think about it during the week, and then we kind of not wing it, but we come up with it before Saturday. We're like, all right, we're gonna talk about mental health and like getting therapy or doing this. What makes you happy? And I feel like it's a little bit sporadic. Maybe some viewers want to watch things that like at least they know what we're gonna talk about and show interest. So if I, like for example, this episode I'm talking about how we're gonna talk about more healthy foods. So I'm hoping we can bring Beverly back on and get some recipes. Um, and then over time, like we're gonna continue doing the same ideal. So next month we'll talk about something else. Next month we'll talk about something else. Um, and have a little bit more consistency, because I feel like that's what we're missing. We're just kind of randomly doing this right now, and it's a lot of it is because like time hasn't been friendly to both of us. Rose was going through a lot with things that was happening with her mother, and I was going through a lot with things that were happening with me and my jobs. But now I think we're finally back on our feet, and we appreciate that you guys stuck around. We appreciate that you guys were there every step along the way. Like I look at our viewerships, I look at our comments, I look at how you guys like our videos, and I appreciate every second of it. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and we appreciate you being patient with us, because it's not easy. It's not easy, and I feel bad because sometimes I have like a lot to do, and I definitely want to do the podcast, but it's like sometimes I wish that I had an extra hand to be like, you know what, we'll do the editing of it, we'll do this of it. Like, Rose, for the most part, Rose has to come in and just do the podcast. For me, I have to make sure that the settings are working, which I remember one day we just had like a bad episode. It was like with John, I think, and like we just like sound wasn't working and things weren't working, and it was just weird. Um, I have to make sure that the computer's operational. I got to make sure the settings didn't change, because I did one day do an update and it broke everything. So like it's tough, it's not easy, but it's fun to do. I like to talk about things, but I definitely need a little bit more consistency, some more clarity, and just everybody on the same page. So like I said, this month is going to be more about what we're going to talk about, that what we can eat, what we can do to keep ourselves healthy, right? Including like exercise. So I don't know if I don't think Gina's here. I do have Gina's number, so I'm gonna hit Gina up. We're supposed to maybe meet up with Rose tomorrow, but it's gonna be a little tough for me for work. But I'm gonna see if I can try to go. I have to figure it out. Oh, Morgan, thank you for saying that. I'm doing my best, Morgan. I really am, and I miss you, man. We haven't really talked much, or like we may talk every day, but like we didn't game. We haven't done stuff. Maybe we can watch. We'll do movie night. We'll watch a movie, and you can cry with me. Um, we're going to see if we can bring that about. I'm hoping come September, around my birthday's in September, around my birthday time period, that we're going to come do some more merch, which I want to give out to some of our subscribers that we have now, and hoodies, mugs. Uh, Rose wants to do like a notebook, kind of like this. Like this is like a simple flip notebook, but we're thinking about doing like a motivation station, like little journal. And I'm thinking about like you gotta make it innovative. You can't just have like a journal that says motivation station on it. So I'm gonna come up with quotes that I can put into it weekly, right? Or I might do once a month. I don't know. I think I can do 52 quotes, because I 365 days is a little bit too many for me to do quotes. I could do 12 months. Yeah, it would be like a handy dandy notebook. I could do like 12 months, like each month we'll have a quote or something, or like maybe one big strong quote, and then just whatever. I have ideas for it, but essentially we're gonna come up with some of these ideas, and we want to give it out to people, have people represent us wherever they are. I'm actually planning to make mugs, a lot of mugs, like maybe not a lot, but maybe like 20, 25, right? And I'm hoping that I can take them and then take them to like coffee shops and just ask them like, look, I don't want to profit from this. I don't want to do anything. I have a podcast and I just want to throw it out there so maybe people will watch and things like that. So if you guys want to sell these mugs or give them away, so if you want to ask someone, do you want a free mug, and they want to take it, I'll give some away, and then maybe I can join the podcast, and then I'm gonna ask them like, how did it go? Can I give you more? Can you sell them? And even when I do that, I want them to sell them for themselves. I don't want any profit out of it. I just kind of want to expose this a little bit more. I know a lot of people here, Morgan included, have let people know like, hey, look, like these guys have a podcast, Motivation Station. I know people are sharing my Facebook group that we have and things like that. I think honestly, in the time that we've grown, which is about 9 months in now, something like that, I think we've done great. We've done fantastic. We have, I think the last thing Rose had said is we had like over 2K views. We have roughly, I think, like 50 subscribers now, or like 48. We're up there. We have 41 videos out there. I think this is fantastic, and we're hoping to continue this comfortably and get some more merch out there. Our little video here that we do, where it says motivation on station up top, I mean, it looks great, but I'm gonna work on getting some animated work, a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more flair, make it look a little bit better. So stay tuned to like hopefully those changes coming, and I would really love for this to take off. Actually, one of the ideas I'm going to do once we get to maybe episode 50 is I am going to put this onto Reddit. I know Reddit's a crazy place sometimes, and they might be a little bit rough on me, and it's fine, but I'm going to put out there that I've been doing a podcast looking to meet motivated people that want to share their story, talk about their story, things like that. And we can set things up and have more people on our podcast, because we could definitely use it, and I think it'd be fun. And then afterward, I have even more plans, but it's more of a growth for myself. I want to do like a dinner with people, meet them in person, and maybe put up some videos and things like that. Not to get too ahead of myself, but we have some exciting changes coming. I know Rose is excited. I know I'm excited, and I'm sure you guys will be excited with the news too. Like I said, this whole month we're going to be talking about being healthy, in a physical sense, as well as in a, eating healthy and stuff like that. So we hope you guys do tune into our future episodes. But if you came by today, we appreciate you coming by. I know Rose appreciates you coming by, even though she's not here today. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. But until then, guys, cheers to you guys. Man, I gotta hit the gym. The episode we have Gina. We're gonna talk more about that. I gotta actually message Gina on that. But thank you again for being a part of Motivation Station, and thank you for being part of today's episode. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a motivated day.